There's a lot of spots in my countdown here that the games that are right next to each other was really a coin toss. It was so close, like which one would go over the other one. Like honestly, if I could go back, I would probably put Dredge above Cocoon. They were very close in my mind. Tears of the Kingdom and what is my number 4 game is the hardest one of those choices I've had. Whenever 2 games are so close, I end up having like a default tiebreaker in my head that is, which of those 2 games is more surprising that I like it that much? Like Tears of the Kingdom, for example, that's a new Zelda game. I'm gonna love a Zelda game. And to be fair, for this game, I did absolutely adore the first 2 games in this series, but in general as a concept and as an IP, similar to Star Wars with Jedi Survivor, I don't like Marvel anything really. So the fact that I am obsessed with Spider-Man and the Spider-Man games, more so than anything else in Marvel, Spider-Man 2 ended up winning that tiebreaker with Tears of the Kingdom. I played the first game as well as Miles Morales for videos on this channel as the first games I played on my PS5 for content, and I was hooked right away. Traversing New York, combat, clearing off the side activities and collectibles, all that made it one of my favorite open world series of all time. Every part of this series, including the story in my opinion, have never been better as they are in Spider-Man 2. Let's start with the biggest strength of this game, traversal. I went back to play the first game to do some DLC after starting this game, and it's amazing how much the first game now feels like it's just a bare bones version of web swinging, even though on its own, it's still great. They just made it so extraordinary in this game that it's truly one of the most fun movement systems in any game ever made. Not only do you have web swinging, but they also added in a web suit to basically turn into Superman and soar through the air, hitting wind tunnels for extra speed. They also added in dashes and giant leaps, slingshotting off the ground to get started, quick turns around corners to change directions without missing a beat. It's truly incredible, and I could watch people just flying around New York City listening to some chill music for hours. Combat has also been simplified in this game, but in a good way. Gone is the gadget wheel, and it's been replaced with just cooldowns on the face buttons. Spider powers mapped to L1 and gadgets mapped to R1. It's much simpler to know what you have available to use without needing to pause the action to look at a list of consumables in a wheel. It all flows so seamlessly and keeps you in the action longer. They also made the street crimes nothing more than an optional activity to get some extra XP and currency versus being needed to get to 100% completion. The worst part of Spider-Man 1 was that grind of doing at least 5 of every type of crime in every single zone that just really added a lot of fluff to that game that really wasn't needed. They've completely stripped that down and gone with the quality over quantity method, and I'm always going to be on board for that in a game. My personal favorite part of this game, the story. The story of the first 2 games, more so in the first Spider-Man over Miles Morales, is incredible. It might be the performances of the voice actors in this one that really sends it over the top for me. But something about it had me absolutely needing to see what was going to happen next. I know there's a lot of Venom fatigue, but one of the perks of not being a massive comic book / MCU fan is that I really haven't seen many of the things with Venom in it, so to me, he's still a fun and terrifying Spider-Man villain, and in my opinion is the villain I think of with Spider-Man. I love that Insomniac added in the twist of, and I guess slight spoiler here, but Harry being who is Venom was a really cool and fun twist that just added to how much I felt for the characters and the struggles they were going through in this game. Spider-Man has always been my favorite superhero, and these games are a huge reason why. I know a lot of superheroes try to live normal lives while secretly being a hero. Something about Spider-Man, both Peter and Miles, just do it in a way where you really feel for them. They want so badly to make a difference in their community, and the struggles they both have while trying to balance either adult life with a job and a mortgage and girlfriend for Peter, or being a kid in high school trying to get into college and also have a social life, including with the girl he likes for Miles. They do such a great job in this game with the writing and performances of making you want things to work out for Pete and Miles. I was constantly rooting for Peter and MJ to figure things out and try to save Harry along the way. By the end of the game, I was literally demanding that Miles and Haley get together, and if that wouldn't have happened, I might have rioted. Along with the main story, I think this game is going to live on for me as an all-time great open world game and how satisfying and streamlined it is to 100% do everything. The side activities in this game are so perfectly crafted. All of them not only have fun gameplay elements that feel almost like mini-games at times, but they all have a really cool and interesting story to them that helps flesh out the world or give more context to certain characters and their motivations, or just show how much the communities really love and appreciate what the Spider-Man do for them. Plus, they dole out the content to you gradually, and the side stuff actually relates to what just happened in the main story in some way. So it's like it was designed for me and how I like to play open world games. Do a main mission, and not move on to another main mission until I have done all the side missions available. I really felt at home playing this game. Spider-Man 2 to some people is almost too predictable to be super high on their list, and to me that's honestly not a big deal. There's nothing wrong with being really good at what you do, and Insomniac has been perfecting these games over the last 6 years, and the outcome ended up being my favorite Marvel anything in Spider-Man 2. I love this game.